In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a Google search campaign to boost your traffic and increase conversions. So stay tuned. So right now I'm on ads.google.com, and as you can see, I'm on the campaign screen where it's going to give you a lot of different analytics on the different campaigns you're running, the costs that you're spending on a day-to-day basis, your interaction rate, conversions, etc. So if your goal is to drive conversions to your website, whether it's an opt-in or whether it's somebody buying something, you want to create a campaign and you want to drive traffic. So what you want to do in that situation is you want to click the plus sign, you want to click new campaign, and there's a bunch of goals. So you might be wondering, like, which goal do I choose here? Well, you don't have enough data to do something like sales or even leads, because generally that's based on your pixel data. So if you don't have enough conversions, it's not going to be able to figure that out. Probably want to drive traffic. So we're going to pick traffic, and if we're going to do a search campaign, we're going to select search. And these other networks, I'll make other videos on talking about how to create those campaigns as well. But let's start with search. So my website is drewbusinessaccelerator.com/freedom. That's my opt-in form. So what I want to do is I want to hit continue. And you can name your campaign. I highly recommend putting like what the goal is of your campaign. So like you want a traffic campaign, you want to put your product. So you'd like put the product name here. And you might say like more leads, and I would also put the date. I would also put today's date. So you want to put that information because you want to be able to sift through all your campaigns, and generally you're going to have more than one campaign in tandem. So you want to make sure that you're keeping track of all those analytics. So the next step is to set your networks. So this is a super important step, and you want to stop everything and watch this. There's a display network and a search network, and these are ads that can appear on other sites or near other sites that aren't completely targeted within the Google search network. So as you can see, it says near the Google search results and then on the display network. This traffic has been proven time and time again to not be as effective for cold audiences. So if you already have audiences and you're remarketing to them and they're on different websites, you can send your ads there. But if this is the first time you're trying to get a conversion, you don't want to go to those sites, because the intent is going to be strongest on Google and the targeting is going to be most effective, and those audiences are going to be the best on Google. But once you've captured those people and they're in your audience, and then you can remarket to what, it doesn't really matter what site they're on, you know they came from a good traffic source on Google, and you know they were searching the right keywords. If you're on display or something, they don't have search bars, so it's kind of like guessing. You're going to waste a lot of money if you keep these checked, so you want to uncheck these and just ignore the warning flags. I promise I'm not lying to you. I've read a bunch of books on this, so they're going to try to deceive you with what are called their traffic traps. A lot of ad agencies will teach you to avoid traffic traps, and these are some of them. It's super important if you're running a ton of different ads and a ton of different campaigns to track which ads are converting for clicks and purchases. That way you can optimize your campaigns without having to do the guesswork in the campaign manager. So we're just going to leave these blank for now. You can set dynamic search ads. I normally don't do that based on like automatic headlines. You want to really control what you're putting out there as ads and your headlines and content. So let's just skip that for now. Now this is another traffic trap, and I fell into this one, and a lot of people do. So when it says select locations to target, if you click the question mark, it's going to say locations help you target your ads to people located in or show interest in a geographic location. What that means is you're not just going to get people, like let's say if I click the US, right? It's not just going to be people that live in the US like you would think. Like you're going through this real fast, you're like, all right, I want to target people in the US. That's not what Google search is going to do. You have to click this location options, and you have to say people in or regularly in your targeted locations. Don't do recommended, because it's going to put you in these other places that are searching for your location. So unless you're targeting tourists or like people, you know, traveling to that spot only and that kind of thing, you're going to get a bunch of people that might like, you know, celebrities or media or different, you know, programs that are only available in the US, and they're searching there, or they want to travel to the US at some point. Well, those people don't live in your country. So if your services are in like the middle of the US, those people would never buy, especially if it's local ads. So try to avoid this traffic trap. It's a bad move. And then you can leave the exclusion off. In this case, you can set these according to what your goals are. But if you're trying to sell within your country or to people that are in your country with the same currency and the same goals, and they're probably going to have interest in your brand or the product for that country, then I highly recommend that you follow these options. You can also enter a specific location. So you can put in a city, a region, a postal code, and you can do more close targeting there, and that's really effective for local ads. But I'm going to do United States because that's what I want to do. I'm going to select English as my language. You definitely want to do that, because if you don't select the right language and people can't read your ad or your product copy, then they're most likely not going to buy. And if they do buy, they're not going to understand, and they're probably going to want a refund. So for audiences, this is where you're going to do the most of your targeting. So you can look at affinity and custom affinity. So these are like what the people's interests are. So like what they like to do and like what their interests are. So you can browse like all the different options. I highly recommend checking through these and seeing what your goals are. So for me, I'm doing like a business opportunity website. So maybe I would do, maybe avid investors, or, who knows, something like that might be related to like marketing or something like that. So it might not be necessarily in this list, but there's a ton of different categories there that might work for you. You can also do their demographics, so you can select if they're going to be parents or not, if they're single in a relationship or married, if they're college students, or if they're at a different level of education, if they own a home. So all these different things to help you narrow down your buyers. This is going to help you generate quality leads and quality sales. Now, in-market is really, really good for people that are actively searching for stuff. So these are people that are searching the web. They're planning for something. So they're either trying to buy, a car, or computers, or event tickets, or food, or all these different things, right? So for me, I'm in business, so maybe, I'm offering a consulting offer or some sort of training. So maybe I'll do advertising and marketing services. So people in the market for that service are likely to be planning to either market their business or learn how to do that. Or you can go down to education and you can do some research here. This isn't specific to what I want exactly, but there's a lot of different companies and brands that can leverage these categories, and you can find people that are looking exactly for your product. You have remarketing and similar audiences. So this is a little more advanced. It's basically when you've been running your ads for a while, your pixel collects all this data, and you want to send new ads to the people that have been watching your content or that are similar to the people that watched and engaged with your content. This is really good to lower your cost per conversion and to increase your ROI. I'll go over that in future tutorials. And combine audiences as well. So you can combine a number of these different audiences from people who have engaged with certain conversions or taken certain actions. Now, generally for audiences targeting setting, I like to just keep this at observation. If you want a little more control and you want narrower, you can keep it at targeting, but we can just keep it simple and leave it at observation. So budget's important. So this is how much you're gonna spend each day. Now you can set for an entire campaign. So let's say you have $150 and you want to get as much as you can out of that. Then you can set that for your lifetime budget, and you can set a start and end date, or you can divide it. I spend daily and I do it month after month, and I create different campaigns. So what I like to do is I like to say, okay, start at $5 or $10 a day. If you have a lot of ads, you might want to start at something like 20 or 25, just so you get a decent distribution on each of those. And you're not going to pay more than your daily budget times the average number of days in the month, as it says right here. If you set your budget to $20 and on the first day you spend 80, Google's trying to get a lot of data, and they're also trying to optimize because your video or your search ad's doing really good. Don't get too worried about the money. Let it run for a decent amount of time before you modify it. It's really tempting, and I've been tempted many times to just shut it off, and I have. But what you're doing is you're sabotaging the campaign. So you want to keep it going to collect more data because Google is trying to optimize it. So I'm going to set it for $5 a day. So for bidding, this is super important too. So what you want to do is you want to have the most control. Now, if you do clicks or conversions, you don't have enough data for conversions. If you do clicks, it's going to have you do maximum clicks, and then conversion values similar to conversions. So impressions is mainly for just brand awareness, and what you really want to get is clicks that are within your price range according to the Google Keyword Planner and the different keywords that you have researched. So what you want to do is you actually want to hit select other bidding strategies, and you want to go to manual CPC, which means you're going to be manually targeting your bidding. And then what you can do is you can use enhanced CPC. So it's going to optimize for conversions. You can set your own cost per click, which is the amount of money you're going to pay every time somebody clicks on your ad. And it's going to adjust it plus or minus depending on how it performs. So you should be able to get a good idea of how it's going to spend based on using the Google Keyword Planner. So if you open up tools and settings and you open your keyword planner. Let's say I was trying to say start an online business, and that was my term. I could see in the Google Keyword Planner, because I've spent a little bit of money, it's going to give me really accurate search volumes. And I can see, okay, start an online business, it's high competition, and I'm going to pay to get at the top of the page, but like the low range, I'm going to be paying $3. And at the top of the page, the high range would be like $11. So that's how much I would pay per click for that. So you want to go for like low competition keywords. You can check out some of my other videos on keyword research using the Google Keyword Planner in my channel. I'll try to put a link above in the card. So you can come back here to your campaign. You can select conversions. Generally, this is something you want to set up in your website or your funnel, and you want to have this done ahead of time. So you don't want to use the account level including conversions, because it's just going to include everything. So you want to actually choose the conversions that are specific to your funnel, because you might have 12 campaigns. So if you're saying any conversion in there counts, you're going to be inflating your results, and it's really not going to be optimizing. So what you want to do is say, like, for example, this is one of my conversions. I would select that because that's one I want to achieve. And you can set the pixel on the website and do all that. If you need help with that, say yes in the comments below. I'd love to help make a video to help you do that. I usually just leave the ad rotation on to prefer best performing ads. You can add site link extensions. This is going to increase your click-through rates. So if you have these links that say, like, you know, get this offer now, buy now, that kind of thing, or like, you know, change your life now, this is a limited time only offer to start your business, or something like that. They have to be pretty short, but basically they're just little actions that take up more of the page, and it's going to give you better rankings. So I'm not going to add that for this example, but basically you would just go in here and you like create one. You put some text, a description. You can have multiples of these, and then it's going to make you stand out more and get more clicks. You can do the same with calling and call outs. So I can save and continue, and then I can get to my ad groups. Now the ad groups, what you can do is you can create groups of keywords, and then you're going to have your landing page populate here, and it's going to auto suggest a bunch of keywords based on your website. What I like to do is I like to just use my keyword planner results. So like, I'm just going to put in one keyword right now, but what you really want to do is put in, like, you know, 50 to 60 keywords, maybe even 100, 200, as many as you think that are relevant, that are really, really specific. And you want to use keyword match modifiers so you can save money and get the best conversion value. If you want to learn what keyword match modifiers are, I'll put a link in the card above and you can check out that video. Basically, you can just make it so it's formatted a certain way, and it's going to give you some examples down here for like broad match, phrase match, exact match, and that's going to allow you to specify what kind of phrases are going to be able to match your keywords, because it's not always going to be the exact keyword that you're putting in this box that's going to be searched. Sometimes it's really wide variations that don't even make any sense. Like maybe it's like start online business as a 10-year-old, but my product is for people that are adults, so that wouldn't make sense, right? So there's different things that I really got to hone down and remove some of those gray areas so that I'm not getting that bad traffic. At the same time, you want to leave some room for experimentation, because sometimes a keyword that you wouldn't think would work ends up working out really well for you. You can enter your product or service, so like home-based business or something. You can get some ideas here. Generally, these ideas are pretty generic. They're okay, but they're not as good as high intent keywords that you search yourself in the keyword planner and use the keyword match modifiers with. So I highly recommend you watch my video on keyword research to make this list really good. And then I generally like to set my bid like in the range of whatever the keyword is. So the low bid was like, what, like $3. So maybe I'll make this like $5 or something. And it's gonna tell me how many clicks I'll get. So the average cost per click is $3, and it's gonna say low traffic expected. So if I want to increase this, maybe I'll bid like $10. And this is just like the auction. So maybe I'll bid like $10, and this is just the auction. It's basically saying like how much am I willing to spend in order to get clicks. And so it says I'm going to get 1 click per day, and my average cost per click is going to be $5 or so. So you can play around with this. I usually like to start small and then increase, because then you can figure out what's going to work. You could start high, but then you might lose some extra money you didn't need to spend. So just play around with it, figure out what the ranges are on the prices, and pick something in that range. So the range was like $3 to $11, so something in that range, maybe like $4, $5 to start, or even $10 at the higher range. Then once you have your keywords, what you can do is you can hit save and continue, and that's going to be that ad group. and then you can create your ads. So there's a bunch of different ad types. I'm just going to do a simple ad today. If you want me to make a video going into detail on what the difference is between text ads and responsive ads and some other features of the Google Ads platform, leave me a comment below and say yes. So you want to have your URL here. It should match what your website is going to be. And then you might put a headline here like, work from home and ditch your job. Something like that. It's got to be within the parameters. Work from home, ditch your job. Something like that. You might say like, limited time only, buy best business training now. So like this is like a work from home opportunity, teaches you how to market online and stuff like that. So basically what I want to say is the benefit, what's the benefit? You can work from home and ditch your job, or you can work in your pajamas and eat snacks. You can spend more time with your family, take more trips, the stuff that comes as a result of working extremely hard and generating online success. But whatever your offer is, you want to put the benefit first, and then like some stuff to create some urgency, like limited time only, or even the price, so you're not having people click and they don't know it costs anything. So I might say, buy best $39 training now, and then people know that it's $39. And I might say, something else like in the description, like time is running out for this exclusive, like millionaire training. And you want to make sure you're in compliance too. There's certain things that Google or Facebook or any network doesn't like, right? So like if you're making claims like somebody's going to become a millionaire, that's just not usually a good thing to say because you don't know that. But if the person who's made the class has made millions, like my mentor, then you can say something like that. Time is running out for this exclusive training by a millionaire. That will change your life or something. That will change you. Like ditch your job, work from home, create more memories, and be happy with these skills. And so it's kind of like saying, what are the benefits? You always want to lead with benefits over features. That is a copywriting thing that you need to know, because nobody's buying your product for the features, like how many modules there are, or how many gadgets there are. Nobody cares about that. They care about what it's going to do for them, what's the end result. So then what you can do is you can create multiple ads. I highly recommend you create multiple different headlines and multiple different ad combinations. Just start small. You don't want to split test like 1,000 different ads at once. You can if you have like a team, but if it's just you, I would start between like 2 and 5, something you can manage and look at. Because if you have 1 billion ads and you're trying to split test them all, you're going to be like, what am I testing? And if you test too much and your budget's too small, it's also not going to give enough budget to equally test them all at a fair amount. So like if each ad gets like a cent and your clicks are going to cost, $3, your budget's really going to get destroyed. So, it'd be better if you had like $10 a day and you had 2 ads, and maybe the cost per click's $3, and then you want to see which one gets more clicks. So one gets 3, the other one gets 0. Then the one that got 3 clicks is working and getting you traffic. So you want to do stuff more like that, and you just keep iterating. So then you would say done, next ad. Have to fix my URL here and make sure I have HTTPS, because you want to have your header here, it has to be the exact URL. Then I can hit save and continue. Then it's going to give you your campaign settings. It's going to tell you if you need to fix stuff. It's saying like I'm expecting low traffic, but that's because I picked one keyword and I'm not putting a whole lot of budget, so it's really not going to do very good if I did this campaign. But this is just an example. I'm going to go into a more detailed example with keywords that's for a particular product. I just want to show you quickly how you can set up the campaign and like what buttons to click and what options that you should avoid and which ones you should select. It's going to tell you how many ads you should create. It's going to give you some information here that's summary, and then you just click publish. And then if you go to your campaigns, you can see that my campaign is already loaded and it's ready to go. It says eligible, and you can click inside here, go into your ad group, and you can see that it's eligible. So you'll start seeing clicks, impressions, CTR, all the different metrics come in as your campaign starts running more, and you can start evaluating your campaign. I generally like to let it go for a couple days before axing it. Like, you don't want to close a campaign if you don't even know maybe the first 10 to 100 people weren't the right people for you. Google is just trying to find people that are searching for your product, but that doesn't mean they're your ideal customer yet. Now, if you've run it for 2 weeks and you've run a decent budget like $20, $30 a day, or even $10 to $15, and you're still getting nothing, then there's something wrong. It's your headlines, it's your product, it's your keywords, something's wrong. The nice thing is that you can fix all of those elements. And in future videos, I'm going to tell you how you can avoid the pitfalls, and you can try to analyze where your funnel is breaking so you can fix it. So I hope you really enjoyed this video on the simple steps on how to create a search campaign to drive more traffic and get more conversions. If you like this video, then click that like button. I want you to smack that subscribe button and flick on that notification bell, say all notifications, so you don't miss a single video from me on how to grow your business fast and live a happier life. This was just a video to get your feet wet on how to create a campaign. I'm going to go into more detail on each of these features and how to really set up your keywords, set up your funnel, and do your split testing and optimization. There's a video right after this one, and I can't wait to see you in that one to help you grow your business even faster. So stay tuned.